9/11 affected me deeply. If you were living here in San Diego in 2003 and 2004, there was a reoccurring newspaper article about a service member returning home here after an extended deployment. And they would have a stack of money and buy a motorcycle and mix it with a 30 pack of beer. And how quickly they became part of the statistic that 22 veterans a day commit suicide. And in 2024, that number has not changed. I believe that having put people in harm's way and then to have them return here where they could be safe and then to lose them, I always understood that to be a real tragedy. So I started talking with my family and friends. Everyone encouraged me to reach out and help veterans artistically. Little did I realize that sharing my passion with others, that my reaction was a part of my own sense of artistic responsibility. My parents met in the Navy. I have a master's in fine arts and ceramics. My personal story really began after having completed high school, not knowing what I was going to do. Luckily for me, a friend of mine talked to me in my first college ceramics class. I could see firsthand the impact that art making had on individuals. I learned about process, and more importantly, I learned about service. It's no secret that art making is therapeutic. Transition stress, isolation, loss of mission, loss of direction. This can all be detrimental to the individual and their families. So I needed to share this in our community. There was a ceramicist named Glenn Lukens. In the 1950s, he was going out and getting veterans that he would describe as catatonic, and he was getting them into the ceramics lab at USC, reporting that these individuals had deeply cathartic and transformative experiences working with the clay. And then they'd move on. And when they moved on, they became engaged with their lives and their families again. Ceramics gave them an opportunity to move on and through events that really deeply affected them. With all of this in my mind, in 2009, I started the Veterans Art Project, offering ceramic classes to demonstrate the usefulness of art making to the veteran community. Bruce, Michael, Mick, Darren, Tonya, Reggie, Rocio, Cheryl, Mateo, Ivan, Dan, Colin, Maria, Tony, and Katie. These are survivors that I can now speak of. To see these people after they've dug their hands into that terra firma, you can hear it in their voices, and you see it in their faces when their eyes light up like sunrise. It is not a match that we strike, but a bucket that we fill. When people open up a bag of clay, it's really to open themselves up externally. And process is an opportunity to be in the moment. Process is an opportunity that allows creativity to develop, to expand, to grow and open up. By sharing our stories visually, we can create real community in community. And ceramics is deeply connected with the concept of service. And for the veteran community, service is a deeply held value, one I value. Do you have a favorite cup? I sure do. Cups touch us in profound ways. And what is life without touch? For a cup of water to a person in the desert may be life-sustaining. Does anyone notice how we teach children how to drink from a sippy cup? Does anyone tend to see that we hold cups over our heads in celebration. And what is hospitality if no cup or beverage is offered when your neighbor comes to visit? Sometimes we break cups as a symbol of our most precious union with others. And a sip of water from a cup to a dying person may be their last living act. Cups sustain life. Cups are utensils, everyday objects, pieces of art, and sculptures. Cups are vehicles for sharing our stories. Cups root us in the moment, or we spill water down our shirts. A safe and familiar object. Humans connect through touch. Humans connect through touch. And what is life without touch? Through this hands-on approach, we can cross distances of both heart and mind, allowing people to share. In many ways, people are cups. For when we are empty, we can feel full. And when we are full, we sometimes feel empty. When we teach people how to create objects using the creative process, we open up new avenues for thoughts, dreams, and aspirations to be shared in a new way, a simple and profound way. So this is my way of sharing what I know, right? And for me personally, creativity in the arts has been a way for me to go about my life and make sense of my life. And I like to think that this is what I did to survive. But I'd like to leave you with this idea that a simple cup made by hand, shared with friends, is the most intimate of objects because a cup touches our lips.